Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. Today's topic is something that's just almost like a takeoff from the previous videos. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 things to do to create a sustainable recovery from substance abuse. It's to continue and in your recovery, and some of the tips that we can give you here on the Take Your Life Back Today show. I want to give a shout out to Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. You can Google him at www.odysseyconsultant.org. That's www.odysseyconsultant.org. That's Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. Call him at 516-485-2741 and tell him you heard about him on the Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. Larry Geis is a recovery coach, a life coach. He will help you from your addiction to your recovery hand in hand, and he will work on today and tomorrow. That's Larry Geis from the Geis Academy, 516-485-2741. GlobalEyeglasses.com. They are focused on saving you money. Folks, you need your glasses. Everybody just about in the United States at a certain time in their life will have to wear glasses. And everybody that does not know about GlobalEyeglasses.com spends a lot of money for eyeglasses, no matter where you are in this country. Well, folks, here is the solution. Go to www.globaleyeglasses.com, where you can save so much money on glasses compared to even Walmart or Costco or Sam's. Folks, they have frames that go as low as $6. And those frames, they include standard, non-coated, regular prescription, single vision plastic lenses. Now, if you need progressives, they have them. If you need line bifocals, they have them. If you want transition to photo grays, they have them. If you want polarized lenses, they have them. If you want to make your lenses thinner because your prescription is thick, they can do it. They can add anti-reflecting coating for night driving, UV coating, coatings galore. You ask, well, what about the frame selection? Folks, the answer is they have over 1,200 different frames for you to choose from. But you got to make the first step. You need to go to www.globaleyeglasses.com. Let them focus on saving you money and get in touch with me. Text me at 631-599-0218 like so many of you have. I've been in the optometry business for over 30 years. I will help place your order. I will help pick the frame you like. Get in touch with us. Go to www.globaleyeglasses.com. Text me at 631-599-0218. Get a hold of Larry Geis from Geis Academy. If you need help with life itself or your addiction to figure out how to live in recovery, go call him at 516-485-2741. Top 10 things to do to create a sustainable recovery from substance abuse. Drug and alcohol addiction and alcoholism are progressive fatal illnesses that are classified as diseases by the medical and therapeutic communities. They are incurable. Drug and alcohol addiction, however, can be treated, and sufferers can ultimately recover. In order to do so, there are several things that someone that suffers from substance abuse, substance use disorder, or drug and alcohol addiction can do to support disorder or drug and alcohol addiction. Therefore, what can someone do who is trying to get clean and sober, or just starting their journey in recovery, to make sure that they create a long-term sustainable recovery for themselves? Here are 10 key things to do for anyone overcoming addiction in order to create a sustainable recovery from drugs and alcohol. On my list of 10 things, number 1 is seek the appropriate professional help. The typical will mean detox or treatment, and then the appropriate level of aftercare, counseling. Sometimes this could mean seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist. For some people, this simply means no professional help and just going to AA or NA. However, whatever the individual situation is, the first thing to do is to seek appropriate help. Number 1, seek appropriate help. Number 2, put your recovery first. This is often a platitude thrown around in the rooms of AA or NA, with people saying your recovery has to come first, or if you put anything in front of your recovery, you'll lose it. Now, often these are just sayings people in recovery throw out throw out like turn it over and one day at a time without necessarily using it in proper context. However, for someone looking to get clean and sober or just getting into recovery, putting recovery first is absolutely a necessity. What does this mean, you might ask? Well, it means that if you need to detox and treatment, you absolutely need to go to detox and treatment. Things like jobs, relationships, family, vacations, or fun outings with friends cannot be excuses to put off or postpone or evade going to detox. For people out of treatment and in the rooms, that means looking at everything, every action, every thought, every behavior, every decision through recovery-colored glasses and asking yourself, is this thought, decision, or action going to support or hinder my recovery? And only doing things that will support and enhance your sobriety. Relationships, friendships, jobs, money, school, all need to be deciphered in the realm of recovery. And this also means first and foremost doing the things that create and support recovery, whether it's treatment and therapy, the program and fellowships of AA or NA, or just from practical day-to-day perspectives. Number 3, listen to your treatment center or your counselor or therapist. Typically, your rehab, the staff, and the counselors at your rehab or your therapist know what's better for you than you do. There is a reason every time you've gone for treatment, those people repeat the same mantras over and over again. Meetings, sponsorships, home group, it's because these things that have proven to work the best for most amount of people for the longest amount of time. Additionally, if your drug, rehab, or therapist thinks you need more treatment or additional continuing care, do what they say. Listen to them. If they think you need to go to a recovery house or a sober living environment, then please, I urge you to do that. No one likes having to do these things, but the purpose is to support and enhance your recovery. These places and people know better, so listen to them and listen to what they have to say and follow their directions to the T. Number 4, getting involved in recovery fellowship. For people with substance abuse issues, this means AA or NA or some similar 12-step fellowship. And getting involved does not just mean going to the meetings. It means going to the meetings, going to regular meetings, regularly getting a home group and a sponsor. Making sure that the sponsor is someone that will immediately start taking care, taking you through the 12 steps, getting involved on some level at service work, and creating relationships with people in the rooms. Number 5, become a productive member of society. This is a huge one. What does this mean, you might ask? It means getting a job and going to work. Or if you can't find a job, getting up and keep looking for one each and every morning. Or volunteer. It means pay your bills. It means play the role that is your role to play to the best of your ability, folks. Do you have legal issues? Get those legal issues taken care of as best as you can. Do you owe people money? Do your best to pay these people back. Do you have a family? Then go be a father or a mother or a husband or a wife or a sister or a brother to that family. Show up for work on time and give that job everything you have to give each and every day. It means you don't work harder for $100 an hour than you would for $10 an hour. It means you give the same effort because someone is paying you and you take pride in what you do. And if you just landed a job, congratulations. Number 6, take time to examine your surroundings and make changes if and when necessary. There is another platitude that gets thrown around in recovery circuits, like change people, places, and things. The thought is that in order for someone to recover from drug addiction or alcoholism, they need to change people, places, and things. Change your friends, change where you go and what you do. Never be around drugs or alcohol. This is a bunch of crap. Every situation is individualized and everyone is different. But at the bottom line is that a crackhead can get clean and sober in a crack house. Yes, sometimes things like people, places, and things need to change, but that is not always the case. Do not suddenly drop all your friends because they drink. How selfish of you to even do that. Do not tell your parents they're not allowed to drink around you. In recovery, we do not expect others to change their behaviors on our account. What needs to be done is to take an honest assessment of your situation and surroundings. Just moving away from Baltimore to Hawaii won't get you clean and sober. It is never the outside circumstances that need to be changed, but rather the inside perspective of you, the addict. So, self-observation and discussion with others in recovery is important. Does your current living situation support or discourage you in your recovery? If it supports it, then stay there. If not, then maybe change is in order. Do your current friends support or discourage your recovery? Does your current job support or discourage your recovery? Does your relationship support or discourage your recovery? Every aspect needs to be honestly examined. Every question I just asked needs to be honestly answered. Number 7 on our list, find healthy hobbies or creative outlets. You spend a lot of time drinking and getting high. I should say you spent, because hopefully you're not doing it anymore. You spent a lot of time drinking and getting high. You now have a lot of time to fill. Involvement in a 12-step fellowship will get you connected with other people in recovery, and you'll find much happiness and joy from those relationships. But getting clean and sober allows you to have a chance to explore what you are and what you like to do in life. Things like sports, yoga, exercise, creative skill outlets, art, writing, music, adventurous trips, different parts of the world, going back to school, pursuing interest in education, and going to concerts and live shows are just some of the typical things that people get a chance to do once they've entered recovery they weren't able to do and enjoy during their addiction. You can even do create a show like I did the Take Your Life Back Today show, which by all means has been a very busy schedule for me. I am up to 587 videos. That's a lot of effort and a lot of time put into these. Number 8, cultivate a health, mind, body, spirit, and lifestyle. This encompasses many different elements. It can include exercise, changing your diet, and eating healthier, taking care of medical or physical issues, seeking outside therapeutic help for other mental or traumatic issues, reading, gaining insight, seeking and rededicating yourself to personal religious learnings, and seeking new spiritual insights, prayer, and meditation. All of these support an holistic approach to mind, body, and spirit, sustainable in recovery. Number 9, and this is my biggest one on my list, be transparent. One of the biggest barriers to getting clean and sober is the internal self-centeredness of drug addicts and alcoholics. Addicts and alcoholics are forever concerned with what others think of them. Do they measure up? Do other people like them, and are they loved and accepted by other people? Additionally, emotions and feelings such as fear, self-doubt, sadness, depression, anger, and sometimes even happiness are never shared for fear of how others will see them or think of them. This type of thing must be abandoned in recovery. Complete, and I repeat, complete honesty and transparency with others is key to sustainable recovery, because it is the key to personal and spiritual growth. Share all of your fears, your insecurities, and your self-doubt. Share them with others in recovery, because those people have the same issues or have had them in the past. It is through this type of absolute transparency with others that addicts and alcoholics can learn to be okay with who they are, learn who they are, and embrace themselves for both their strengths and weaknesses. Hiding these feelings and thoughts from others in recovery is a sure sign of unhappiness, and therefore ultimately in um, uh, or can lead to relapses. Folks, people always say to me, is how can you be so transparent? Because it becomes easy. Because you got to remember, when you're addicted to drugs and alcohol, what is one of the biggest things that you fear? Is other people finding out. On the other hand, I turn that around, and what is the biggest joy that I now have in recovery? It's the joy of other people knowing that I am in recovery. Last but not least is a thing called Rule 62. In AA, there is a story about a member in the 1940s who attempted to promote AA by creating 3 separate corporations. This was outlined in 61 rules to create the operations and get them operating. Although this behavior and plan went against the 12 traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous, the man was informed by Bill Wilson every AA group is autonomous, and thus the man's group had the right to go on with the plan as they saw fit. When they did, and it ultimately had disastrous results, the man wrote to the New York office of AA that indeed you were right and I was wrong. Enclosed with the letter was a golf scorecard, and on it was written Rule 62. Don't take yourself too damn seriously. This rule applies to those entering recovery as well. Life can be difficult, and I grant you that. Bad things can and probably will happen to you in life. Life can be difficult, remember that, and things bad can and will happen to you in life. Addiction and alcoholism is a sad, painful, lonely road to walk. When you enter recovery, understand you have been given the chance to live 2 lives in 1 lifetime. Learn to enjoy life, have fun, find passion, take risks, and create new experiences. But above all, don't take yourself too damn seriously. These were 10 things to create a sustainable recovery from substance abuse. Recap, and I'm just going to read the title of each one. Number 1 is seek appropriate professional help. Number 2 is put your recovery number 1 first. Number 3, listen to your treatment center, counselor, or therapist. Number 4, get involved in recovery fellowship. Number 5, become a productive member of society. Number 6, take time to examine your surroundings and make changes if and when necessary. Number 7, find healthy hobbies or creative outlets. Number 8, cultivate a health, mind, body, and spirit lifestyle. Number 9, huge one, be transparent. And number 10, Rule 62, which is don't take yourself so damn seriously. Folks, these were 10 things that help you cruise along life in recovery. Remember them, use them, practice them, and share them with other people in recovery. Remember that if you start today, the first day maybe in your recovery, that by staying sober for the next 24 hours, or 3 shifts of 8 hours, or 24 shifts of 1 hour, the next 24 hours of sobriety guarantee you a start of a new day being sober. And do that again, that pattern, over and over and over. Eventually it's a month of sobriety, a half a year, or a couple years. Don't just sit back and idle in your sober life. Be active in your sober life. Go out and be productive in society. Go out and share fellowship with other people, but don't alienate your friends that might drink, or your family that might drink, because they are going to do what they are going to do in life. Your job is not to judge anyone but yourself. Remember, you're the person in recovery. You're the person that chose recovery. And if you ever start doubting yourself or other people, seek the Lord Jesus for guidance and direction. And start at home teaching your children not to drink, not to smoke or use profanity. And the best way I can probably ask you to do that is to lead by example. Look at it in this way. When you're on your job and your manager constantly tells you to sweep the floor, sweep the floor, sweep the floor, and you just sit, him sitting at the desk all the time reading a newspaper, eventually you will try to sit at a desk reading the newspaper all day. But if your manager asks you to sweep the floor and you watch him sweeping the floor, that is leading by example. Don't drink as the parent. Don't smoke as the parent. Don't use profanity as the parent or grandparent. And I can almost guarantee you, your children will do the same. I mean, it's not 100% guaranteed, because when they go into the outside, they probably will experiment. But know this, by you leading by example, you have given all your efforts on creating a youngster that will not hopefully go to smoking, drinking, or using profanity. Your job has been completed by the Lord Jesus, who has designated you as the mother, the father, or the grandparent to raise your children or grandchildren properly. And if you start thinking positive thoughts, you will get positive results. Let the sunshine into your heart and into your home daily, and you will see, like flowers getting sunshine outside, that your children will grow and learn from you. But you have to let the sunshine into your heart and into your home, and you will see progress, and you will see your children nourishing to be younger teenagers, to become mature adults, hopefully practicing the things that you have instilled in their minds. I hope to God, no matter where you are watching me in my audience, that you have a great day. But I hope and I pray daily that no matter who you are or where you are, you have a sober rest of your life. And may God bless you.